Chapter 7. A Battle in the Desert. Out of the dark, the bandits attacked. One of them tried to climb up on King Caspar's horse to pull the frankincense away from him. King Caspar saw him coming. He was a very strong man, and his horse Equinus was a champion warrior. He nickered and bucked as hard as he could. Soon the thief lost control, and King Caspar jumped down and grabbed him and tied him up with the rope he kept on his saddle. Then Princess Paasha yelled, "Go!" And all the horses and camels started kicking and biting the thieves. The great Camillo bit the backside of the man called Matthew so hard, he started pleading for mercy. "Ouch! Get him off of me!" He yelled and tried to get away from Camillo as fast as he could. But King Balthazar grabbed him by the collar and tied him to Camillo's neck. Camillo said furiously, shaking his lustrous mane, "You will learn not to mess with my king." Of course, Matthew could not understand him. The rest of the horses surrounded the other men in the band, ready to fight them again when King Melchior gave the signal. "Tell us when, King Melchior," they nickered. "We are ready to finish them for you." In the meantime, Reuben approached Queen Betsy, but she kicked out at him, swaying her massive trunk. There I was, a little mouse scribe, hanging on as best as I could, with my teeth and paws, and rooting for Betsy with all my strength as she raised her trunk and sounded her trumpet call. What a brave elephant she was! Princess Paasha quickly grabbed the chest with the gold by biting the leather strap around it. I let go of it when she said, "Hop on, Mousie, let the fun begin." Then she ran as fast as she could around the caravan, with me firmly hanging on to her. The horses nickered and the camels bellowed as they surrounded the band of thieves. They stomped their feet so hard that the ground trembled. "We will hide the gold chest among the camels," said Princess Paasha. "It will be safe there." "I will help you," I squeaked, hanging on to her silken hair. The camels added in a braying chorus, "We have it all under control." Paasha found a spot to hide the precious gold, and the camels tightened the circle around it. Just then, Reuben ran up to the camels. Sweat covered his face as he ran back and forth trying to catch Princess Paasha. But he couldn't break into the circle the horses and camels had made. "What's this?" Reuben yelled. "It is as if the animals are fighting to protect the dog." "You are right," exclaimed King Melchior, holding his magnificent sword in his hand. "She is no ordinary dog. And you cannot outsmart her. Now we and the animals will fight you and your men face to face." When the thieves saw they were in a battle not only with the three kings, but with all the fierce animals, their faces turned white with fear, and their hands shook so hard they had trouble hanging onto their swords. King Melchior saw their confusion and fear and said to the kings and the animals, "Stop the battle." To the band of thieves he said, "We will give you a chance to speak." He turned to Reuben and asked, "Who are you?" The man Reuben stepped forward and puffed out his chest. He said, "I am Reuben, leader of this band. We fight against Herod and the Roman invaders. We fight to free Israel. We heard you talking about the King of the Jews. We only plan to buy supplies for our men with the offerings you are taking to Jerusalem." "But we are friends of Israel," said King Caspar. "We are going to honor the King of the Jews." "We don't have a king," cried out Matthew, still rubbing his sore backside. "Rome invaded Israel and appointed Herod as ruler, but he is evil. He hurts our people. How can you bring him offerings?" "The gifts are not for Herod," said Balthazar. "Don't you know there is a new king of the Jews? The promised Messiah has been born. We are bringing our offerings for him." "What? How do you know this?" asked Reuben, looking surprised. "When did this happen? If this is true, why has no one told us about it? We have waited for our Messiah for more than 400 years. We have prayed for this day our entire lives," said Reuben. King Melchior's face looked kinder as he turned to Reuben and his band. "We have read the ancient prophecies that say he is coming and are following the star to find him. We don't know exactly where he is, but we will stop in Jerusalem to try to find out more." Reuben looked around at his men, who had eager expressions on their faces and were nodding their heads. "If what you say is true," he exclaimed, "we don't want to fight you. We want to join you. We have waited for so long, we cannot miss this opportunity. Please let us travel with you and protect you from any danger, although you do quite well protecting yourselves." King Balthazar said, "You are welcome to follow the star with us, but you must know we will first stop in Jerusalem to pay our respects to Herod. He is the representative of the Roman Empire, after all, and a king. We don't want to offend him." "I don't know," said Reuben. "We do not wish to be anywhere near the feared and hated King Herod." "I have an idea," said Princess Paasha, giving an excited bark. She had an expression in her blue, soulful eyes that told me how sorry she felt for the rebels and their long wait for their Messiah. "Please tell us your idea, Princess Paasha," said King Melchior. "We want to hear your wise opinion." Reuben and the men rubbed their eyes as if they could not believe King Melchior was talking to his dog. They couldn't understand Paasha's yippings and barkings, but the king seemed to. "King Melchior," said Paasha, "these men should not come to Jerusalem with us." "Why not, Princess Paasha?" "King Herod will catch them and punish them. They should leave us and hide before Herod's armies find them. If they follow the star on their own, they can join us later." King Melchior translated what his beloved Princess Paasha said. "The dog is right," they said, looking with admiration at Paasha. Reuben even picked up Paasha's red ball and yelled, "Here, Princess Paasha, go catch." Paasha flipped over with joy. She ran and brought the ball back and stretched out a paw to give him 5. I was sure our laughter could be heard miles across the desert, especially after Queen Betsy trumpeted and the horses and camels bellowed and nickered with joy. Princess Paasha barked and howled at the top of her lungs. Even I, Scribe Roopert, screamed, "Yippee!" many times, but my tiny voice was lost among the cries of joy around me. "We will follow the star," said Matthew. "It will guide you to your true king," said Melchior. "We will see you again. The star will bring you to us," said Princess Paasha, which King Melchior quickly translated. I scampered to my notebook because I had many things to jot down. I needed to remember everything so others could read about our extraordinary adventure. I spent the rest of that night writing about Reuben, Matthew, and the band. The men who we thought were thieves turned out to be seekers of their true king. Now they knew their Messiah had been born. Although the night was dark, I didn't need to light a candle to see my paper. The beautiful bright star guiding us was shining down on my work. Oh, the next chapter is about King Herod. There is Paasha. There is Roopert, Melchior, Balthazar, and Caspar.